Well, let's take the tour. Welcome. Click on the templates to preview, present, and customizable library of templates. So when you're taking this tour, you see up here, it says click here. It'll take you on a wonderful tour. This tour will guide you through Blogger Template Designer page, showing you how to customize your blog by following a few simple steps. Click Next to start by step-by-step guide, or jump ahead to the section you wish to learn more about. And we've just lightly touched on them, but this will give you a more thorough, and sometimes you can just stop the page and look and say, I wonder what that meant. Oh yeah, and then go on from there. So you can choose a template, and it'll tell you how to choose the template, step 1 of 9. So they have very, very good directions. So let's go back and actually start to build the blog. Okay, so you have to have a Gmail address for this to work. It's a small price to pay. I think I encourage all small and medium-sized businesses to get a Gmail address and link it in. So say, for example, if you're going to create a blog called Abby Video Works, and we're going to do that live right here, you want to go to email and see if you can get abbyvideoworks@gmail.com, because Gmail does so many things integrated into Google. Because if you want to share calendars with your clients or with your spouse or with whoever, there's a calendar in Gmail that'll do it. It's integrated. You have a free Word program in Gmail called Docs inside of Gmail. So the reason I get people to go to Gmail and open up a Gmail account is that you've got almost an entire suite, a Word suite of products in there. You've got spreadsheets, you've got Word, you've got a presentation, you've got calendar, you've got a reader, you've just got so many apps as well from Google. It's just crazy. So let's go in and sign in. So I'm going to use my eflexonics@gmail.com. Okay, so here we go. We're signing in. All right. So now, let's start. Let's click on New Blog. So now, what they're going to ask you is, what's the title? Title and address is a little bit different, and I'll show you. You can go Abby. Whoops, I wanna capitalize that. Video Works. Okay, so you see how I put spaces in here between Abby and Video Works? You cannot do that with your address. You have to figure out something that squishes it together with absolutely no spaces whatsoever. You can put a hyphen, but then hyphen, when you say Abby-Video-Works, it's confusing. If you just say Abby Video Works, put it in there, people can remember that. So let's go Abby Video Works.blogspot.com. Now you see what it's done here? It says abbyvideoworks.blogspot.com. Because you're going to be using their server, it's only right that they can say you have to use blogspot.com, but there is a fix for it. And I'll show you right now. So it says create blog. You want to create this blog? Yes, we do. Create blog. It says, there we go. So now we've created a blog called Abby Video Works. Let's view the blog. Right now there are no posts whatsoever. So let's go back. All right. Okay. So now look at this. We're going to click on More Options. Right? Let's go click on Settings. So here in Settings, you've got title of abbyvideoworks.com or .blogspot.com, and you can edit that. You've got a description that you can edit it. Privacy, you list it on Blogger, visible to search engines, but you want to see if you can move it over to a .com domain. Permissions, it gives you permissions, eflexonics@gmail.com. I am the admin for that. So let's go over and start blogging. Right? So it says new blog. Oh, no, I don't want a new blog. So it says Start Blogging. So just click on Start Blogging and it's going to load up. Okay, now this is what you're going to be faced when you first initially open up a blog at Blogger. But first, take a look at the options. Reader comments, you want to allow reader comments. Compose mode, show HTML literally. That means hypertext markup language, and I'll explain that later. It says use breaks, page tag. Leave everything as default for a little while. Just leave it as default. Now, let's go click here. We're going to put welcome to Abby Video Works. And then we're going to say, we are very glad you made it here. Okay, now let's take a look. Now, here's what you can do. You can save it, and this is what I do when I create my shows. I save it, but I do not publish it. And this is why. If I'm going to do a podcast show, I take the list of things that I want to talk about, and I put, post number 1, and I put the video or the link to the article that I want to talk about there, and then I'll go to post number 2, the link to the video or the article that I want to talk about, and then I might have 8 or 10 links there. But I don't necessarily want to show people, I don't want to publish it and open it up to the internet where people can find that information, so I save it. It doesn't mean that it's published. It just means it's saved in draft mode. It means I can see it, but nobody else can see it. Then, when it's showtime, I get in front of the camera, and I click on here, and I can see the stuff. It's almost like a homemade teleprompter. I can see what I've written, but nobody else can. Now, after the show, if I've put additional notes in there, for example, if I want to remember a story about a particular article that I'm talking about, I'll put a little note in there, Rick, remember to say this, and then I'll talk about it. Then what I can do is after the show, my podcast show, I can go back and just delete those notes, push publish, and the blog now appears in its finished state. I'm going to do a series of podcasts on that little later on, but right now we're going to concentrate on just getting your blog up and running. So if you don't want anybody to see it right now, if you're just practicing and just fooling around to make sure that you've got it looks right and it's balanced, just click on save and you don't have to publish. But let's be exciting and hit the publish button. Now here, I'm going to explain these 2 buttons. These 2 buttons come up everywhere. It's either going to be called Compose, right there, this button, or HTML. HTML means hypertext markup language. Now, in my last couple of posts, I showed you that these little less than and greater than signs and these little guys right here, that's all code. And if you don't know HTML code, don't change anything in there. Okay? If you want it visually easy to negotiate around your blog, click on Compose. The only time that you're going to use this HTML button is if you embed a video into this blog, and embedding a video is extremely easy, and I'll show you how to do that as well. But most of the time I click on the Compose button so I can visually see without all the HTML garbage getting in the way, because sometimes that can confuse you. So I'm going to click on Publish. Now it's published. So let's go and take a look and see what this looks like. So I'm going to put in the address. And we don't need the www. We can just go Abby Video Works.blogspot.com. Boom. See that? It's right there. Now this is an extremely plain blog. Right now we've got Welcome to Abby Video Works. We're very glad you made it here, and that's it. On the bottom, you will notice a couple of handy things that Blogger includes in their blog platform. They have a Google OnePlus button, which is really handy. They have a tweet button, which is really handy. And they have a Facebook like button, which is really handy. And they also have a add a comment button. See, they've done all the programming for you. This is a blog platform that you just show up, you enter your information, and boom, you've got a web presence. It's wonderful. Okay, so let's go back. let's go back to here and take a look at some templates, right? See down here, it says template. So now this is what I wanted to talk to you about. The mobile. Where's my phone?